Welcome back to the Alpha Strike, everybody, for another episode of Mikeneto's Advanced Tactics. And today I'm going to be covering a very widely used tactic known as turtling. This is where someone basically hides on one side of the map, stays inside their shell, and waits for you to come to them. Now, this can be very frustrating as a tactic because they usually have an iron defense set up with this, and if you get out there, you're going to end up dying, or you're not going to be able to break their defense, and you're going to end up with a lot of problems and end up losing. Now, I've looked at this tactic, and I figured out typically why this works for the person turtling, and we're going to cover how it is that you can actually break a turtle. Pretty solid. So we're going to go to our examples here. We've got our starting area. We've gone with our IDW turtles as our turtling team. They're going to step forward to their initial position. They are all in hindering. They all have stealth. And from this position, with their combined charges and their 3 range and being able to hide in stealth, you get a kill box looking similar to this. It's a pretty decent kill box. You've got 5 to 6 range on the charge, 3 range for the ranged attack. And with this particular map, you're either going to be down at a lower elevation, or you're going to be right to where I can get you with a lot of hindering terrain to help me sit in to, help advance that stealth option. Now, on my opposing team, I do have War Machine, who does have Avengers Initiative to break through that hindering for line of fire purposes. And then I've also got a good hypersonic long distance. I've got a good charge long distance with Psylocke with 11 charge, and then a charge flurry with Superior Spider-Man. So initially, what I'm going to be looking at, because they've taken their position, the turtles, I'm going to move partway up the map to close the gap. I still want to be well outside of their kill box, but I still want to be in a better position than all the way off the board, else we're just going to sit here and do nothing all day. From there, of course, they're going to clear and just sit there and do nothing. And because I don't want to overextend myself into a defensive position where I'm pushed out and at their mercy, I'm also going to clear. Then from here, I'm going to show you what a failed attack will look like against a turtling team. We're going to have War Machine run up and take a shot on what would be Raphael. I'm going to say this attack misses because he's got an 18 defense defended off of Leonardo. And if I remember correctly, he's just got combat reflexes. So that would be my main thought to shoot there, but we're going to say that I missed. Then what I see a lot of people do when they're getting frustrated against somebody's turtling, because they want to do this what's called the bashful monkey routine. You reach way out there in hoping that you're not going to get hit back. So I'm going to run Quicksilver all the way out there and go stand him next to Michelangelo. I'm going to attack Donatello because Donatello's one of the squishiest of the bunch. I could go for Leonardo as well to try and break that defend, but I just decided to go for Donatello. Again, I've got the flurry option, but I'm standing right next to Michelangelo, who has that probability control. We'll say 1 hit, 1 misses. I didn't get a lot of advance there. Up next, well, with their 4 actions, they're now going to focus fire onto Quicksilver because he's out there with absolutely no backup. I mean, you can try and tell me that War Machine's got his back, but 1, he's pushed, and 2, all he can do is shoot 1 person. Superior Spider-Man and Psylocke are both far enough away, they're not going to provide any backup for Quicksilver. So Donatello takes a shot, Leonardo charges over, takes a Blades Claws Fang shot, and Quicksilver's done for. Then Michelangelo is going to advance out to start going after War Machine because he's only used half of his turn to change the wave. Now that I've got 3 characters versus 4 in this 400-point match, he's now got 2 additional actions to try and give me some more. So he's going to move Michelangelo out into, again, an advanced turtling position where he's still got the hindering terrain bonus, but he's got backup from his 3 brothers who can charge in, move in, do some ranged actions to help support him from there. And then Raphael is going to extend to go all the way out to get into War Machine's face so he can't shoot anymore. But from here, he still has backup from Michelangelo, and Leonardo and Donatello are not that far away for a follow-up swing. From here, he's going to hit War Machine for at least 1 with Precision Strike. If he succeeds on the attack, that's going to reduce War Machine from his running shot to a sidestep at this point. My overall attack levels have dropped significantly, not to mention if Superior Spider-Man goes after Raphael, he's got combat reflexes and his special power that allows him to give action tokens if you miss. Same with Psylocke. If Psylocke goes after me, she's fighting that uphill battle again. The turtling player has now taken the advantage of the game and put me at a disadvantage because I overextended myself. I ran one character out there and left myself open to weakness. We're going to look into now how to actually break a turtle mechanic. So we're back to where we were before I so haphazardly ran myself forward. And from here, I've decided to move Psylocke up into a hindering terrain position. Now, this is just at the edge, if not stepping over one square into their kill box, but she does have combat reflexes and shape change, giving her really solid defense, and they're not going to be able, well, they could move up, but it's going to take a couple turns before they could actually shoot me from here. She's going to need a little bit of backup, so I'm going to move Superior Spider-Man up, not right next to her, because there's a lot of flurry and things that could cause me problems there, but I'm spacing him out a little bit. Again, he's got shape change and super senses, and he's going to be right within that too. So I'm tempting this turtling player to try and bring them out. I'm saying, I'm going to give you a couple of tasty morsels to try out, but you're going to have to work hard for them. Now, looking at this, Michelangelo has Charge and Quake. He could hit them both at the same time. I missed my rollouts. I need something a little more to help my advanced positioning for this defense. I'm going to move Quicksilver up, drop his special marker in between the two of them, so if they do choose to use that Quake option with Michelangelo, I've got a push flurry option with Quicksilver to try and get Michelangelo back afterward from a position where he won't be able to probability control me from there. Now, I've done this as an advanced action. I could just leave this where it was and use this after the fact, but I've also wanted to step up Quicksilver a little bit to put him in a better position. From here, I'm going to run War Machine out and take the same action that I took with my initial attack, and I'm just going to lob a volley at Raphael, hoping for the best. Maybe I can wing him a little bit because he can bust stealth, but I'm still far enough away that if they try what they did in the previous example, I've got 3 people ready to push and come after Raphael to protect War Machine in the long run. So being the turtles that they are, the turtles are going to turtle. They're just going to clear. They're going to wait for me to come to them because they do have a very strong advantage still within their kill box. And I've made my lure with my Superior Spider-Man, my Psylocke, and Quicksilver dangerous enough that he doesn't want to take it, and War Machine's far enough out there that he can't hold his turtle position. So he's just going to stay where he's at. From here, I clear as well because when I make this advance, what I'm going to refer to as a blitzkrieg on the turtle position, I need to be ready and not pushing if at all that I can avoid it. From here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run Quicksilver out, drop his marker next to Leonardo, and then I'm going to flurry Leonardo, because in this particular setup, Leonardo is where he's getting his iron defense from, barring that 18 on the defend. With no defensive reducers, I have a really good shot of knocking Leonardo down and possibly out of the fight. From there, I'm going to run War Machine over, who cleared on his last turn, and I'm going to take a shot at the turtles there in front because they have good close combat defenses to try and weaken them a little bit further. Then I'm going to have Superior Spider-Man run in, flurry. He may have picked up an object. I didn't include them in an example, but he has a lot of offensive potential here for a flurry attack with a probability control. So I'm going to attack probably Raphael because that's where I've been focusing all my efforts, and lo and behold, I take him out. Now I'm going to move Psylocke up into what was previously Raphael's position to lock down the 3 other turtles, taking control of the turtle position. Now they're at my mercy. They have to break to get away. They have to go through Psylocke's 19 defense with shape change. They have to get through a double rollout on Superior Spider-Man. War Machine is free to clear, and I can push Quicksilver without even moving him and flurry Leonardo again. They have basically locked themselves into a corner, and I've been able to just overtake their position. This is because there was a unified front in my attack, and nobody was left out in the cold, and they always had somebody to back them up, and this is all about that teamwork and really focusing to try and get basically a wedge into the turtle and to break their armor. So hopefully you guys have found this helpful, informative when it comes to turtling. This is a tactic that I do see used very often. Typically it's used with pieces that have a much larger range, a much larger kill box that's harder to get into. The thing you're going to be looking to do is move up as close as you can within that kill box, keep as tight of a defense as you can so that they're not going to get that advantage on you, and then when you're going to make that attack, make a unified front. Just make it all go in there. Just go all in and do what you can and be ready for the lashback. And then that's where the real combat's going to begin. It's just going to come down to dice at that point. So, again, with the turtling tactic, I hope you guys have found this informative and helpful and helped you figure out how you're going to get through turtling for those annoying opponents like myself who just sit in the back and wait for you to come to them because I know the advantage that offers to me. So remember, until next time, strike first and strike hard.